And here we are. It's just over a year since we first took a look at Lawbreakers in a closed beta test. And in fact, today, Friday the 30th of June, marks the final PC event before the game fully launches. So if you've seen some of my videos before and not managed to check it out, I'm happy to say that you can now check out Lawbreakers for yourself. The open beta has now started. So a bunch of things have happened since we last talked about this new Nexon published, Boss Key developed title. They've added a host of new characters, maps and game modes, but perhaps the biggest news is the announcement of a final price and final release date. If you recall, Lawbreakers was originally planned to be a free-to-play title, but the devs changed their minds, not least because they can offer a level playing field with characters and maps open to all. Well, now we've learned that the final pricing for Lawbreakers will be $29.99 in the US, which is £24.99 in the UK, and will be released on August the 8th of this year. So in terms of price, you're looking at a sort of Battlegrounds-ish sort of level, but this will be released in August. It's also worth noting that this undercuts the ever-present Overwatch by around $10. In other, less guessable news, we also found out that the PlayStation 4 will be getting Lawbreakers 2. And just last night I found out that the devs are running a closed beta for the PS4 version at the same time this weekend. So if you're a console gamer, you can register in the link in the description and you could help sculpt the game for the PS4. What's more, they've also confirmed that the $29.99 price point applies to the PS4 too. As with all games under active development, characters and Lawbreakers fall in and out of favour depending on balance changes. And I think it's safe to say that the newest class, Wraith, at the moment is ever so slightly overpowered. He's a high mobility class with slide, triple jump, wall jump, movement abilities. It's actually a lot of fun chaining these together and maintaining your momentum across the maps. Perhaps where he strays into overpowered is with his right-click knife lunge. The cooldown is so low that you can almost use it as a movement ability itself. He also has a high rate of fire gun, which used in combination with his knife and slide do huge amounts of damage. In most of the matches I've played this beta event, it's been a Wraith at the top of the scoreboard. And I know some people have been irritated by how effective he is, but this is the nature of balancing a game. He's a new character, and they want to gather data on him before making balance adjustments. I've spoken in previous videos about my issues with the Battle Medic class. Basically, I feel that the primary weapon doesn't work for most engagements. It's a grenade launcher in a game where most people are floating mid-air in low gravity. It often means that you're at a massive disadvantage in the big central fights that govern how the match progresses. There's a quite good secondary pistol, but again it's not quite what you'd want to combat your hit-scan opponents. It's a burst projectile. At the very least, I'd like to see this pistol be made hit-scan as well. It could have more fall-off than other weapons, but it would still afford the medic a bit more projection and defense at range. At the moment, again, I find the Battle Medic a really quite frustrating class to play if you want to have much offensive ability, or even if you just want to defend yourself. It's far too close to the pure support classes of other notable games. However, with another beta cycle over and no substantive changes to the Battle Medic being made, I'm semi-resigned to these issues with the class remaining for the foreseeable future. The light on the horizon, however, is that a bit of other news announced for Lawbreakers. The final class for release is called HARRIER. For those who like playing support-style roles, HARRIER not only has a deployable that heals and regens fuel for allies, but more interestingly for me, is the hit-scan main beam weapon. Unfortunately, I haven't managed to play this class yet, as it hasn't been enabled in any of the beta builds, but this new class might just help bridge the gap between the Battle Medic and the pure combat roles. I've included a link in the description to the Lawbreakers HARRIER role analysis video if you want more details and a bit of lore. In this current build, there's a new map, Vertigo. It certainly lives up to its name, given as it's perched high above the clouds. It's pretty open, with large, low-gravity fields and long sightlines making things especially difficult for classes suited to more short-range combat, like Juggernaut and the previously mentioned Battle Medic. The cosmetics are progressing too, with proper model change skin options now available. A new cosmetic option was added this time are weapon stickers. They are additions that you can apply to weapons as a spot of customization, and have differing rarity depending on if they are normal, metal or hologram. As this is a $30-ish title, I'd imagine we'll see some form of monetization of these boxes in the future for those people who want access to more cosmetics. Though at the moment you get a box every time you level, which currently doesn't feel like an especially long time to wait. With August fast approaching, the devs have obviously been putting time into polishing the game, and indeed this beta build feels better yet again. There are character animations on the match completion screens, and many of the previously rough edges have now been smoothed away, though that does mean that the bugs that remain seem to stick out a bit more now. There are some interface elements that sometimes clash, which can be an annoyance, but it's the lingering issues with Discord integration that I have most issue with. I believe Lawbreakers is the first game to have this sort of in-game Discord connection, but it was causing muting problems if you were already connected to a Discord server. But after talking to a dev, hello Brett, I'm assured that they already know that this is an issue, so I'm reassured that things should be okay on release. With this closed beta, the game seems to be receiving the sort of attention it finally deserves. Not least with Nvidia publishing its Lawbreakers tuned game-ready drivers in time for this open beta. But there's still room for UX improvements to be had. The first one, if I had a choice, would be to add a non-animating screen overlay to the ripple effect we currently have in the low-grav zones. I think I speak for many players when I say I find it distracting. It can even cause a bit of eye strain when gaming for a while. During this beta event, a number of notable streamers also took the time to try out this game. Of what I saw, they almost universally enjoyed it. It made me think back to where this game has progressed since I've been playing these beta tests. And indeed, sizable steps have been made, not just in terms of the quantity of content, but also the quality and performance of the game overall. I'm interested to know what you think about Lawbreakers. Have you tried this open beta? And if so, what are your impressions of the game? How do you feel about the $30 price point? Do you think you'll be flying around in low gravity come August? Let me know your thoughts, feelings, hopes and ambitions in a pithy comment in the section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to support me, then pressing the thumb up button and subscribe button helps me out a lot. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at LCTRGames. There's a link in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Enemy uplink connected.